podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view.
My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I want to fight. But it's going to be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice podcast, hashtag TBV podcast. Today, we're back with the rumor mill edition of the Boxing Voice. Don't forget that number to call in and join in all of the back and forth boxing talk at 1-425-569-5241. Call in right now. Press one time. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and just make it a thing. We're here. We're talking boxing. We're going to go to the Golden State and talk to my co-host. But first, let me let you know why we're here. Bob Arum, CEO, the head honcho, the man that pushes all the buttons at Top Rank, and also the man in the control of Vasyl Lomachenko's career, came out yesterday and said that Lomachenko would make a joke of Mikey Garcia and make him quit. I know it's not in the title, but for some reason, Matthew, the hipster hunter, thought it wasn't necessary to tell the world that Bob Arum feels he will make Mikey quit. I mean, making a Mexican quit? Like, are you real? Like, come on, it's Mikey we're talking about. But I don't know. Maybe he can make Mikey quit. He's already proven a history of that. And I don't know if maybe I can make a case for Mikey kind of already quitting. I don't know. You're going to have to stick around for that. Let me head on out to the Golden State.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When here the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. And I know Bob Arum has a ton of haters. And this quote potentially is going to get a lot of hate from the fans, especially Mikey Garcia fans or any sort of people that are still doubting Loma in any way. They will immediately latch onto this quote and hate on it. But just to play devil's advocate, because right off the bat, I definitely don't think he will make Mikey Garcia look like a joke. But we said the same thing about Rigondeaux. We said the same thing about Nicholas Walters. And he made both of them look like a joke, honestly. He made them both quit. So, I mean, if there is a case here, Lomachenko does have a proven track record of making people that we thought were arguably pound for pound, that they were a true test for him, blah, 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 make them look like a joke and make them quit. So this would not be a first time for him. This would not be, or should not be, as much of a surprise as maybe the Rigondeaux fight was. Because if Lomachenko does this to Mikey, then Lomachenko is just Lomachenko. Lomachenko is that great and that special. But again, I mean, it's going to receive a lot of hate. Mike Garcia is an incredible talent. And this should get a little bit of backlash from the fans and the media. Can't wait to chop it up.
Now, this particular tweet is from about 11 weeks ago, where Lomachenko, frustrated with the limited opposition in the 130-pound division, and obviously before the announcement of Rigondeaux, took to his Twitter and said he was ready to move up for Mikey Garcia. Why that never happened, I don't know.
And there was that, not infamous, but there was a social trending viral video of, I think it was Mikey Garcia walking in on a radio interview of Lomachenko in Igis Klimas and sort of doing the quiet, shy Shannon Briggs of, hey, I want the fight, let's make the fight, let's shake on it right now. But like you said, it never really came to fruition, mainly because of the Rigondeaux fight.
And like we said with Bob Arum and that Rigo fight, he's going down as one of the best promoters. He's giving his man maximum exposure with the least amount of risk possible. Going into this fight, Rigo was a man moving up 2 divisions, almost a decade older than Vasyl. Should we consider Mikey Garcia Vasyl's latest test or truest test? Because names like Salido and Russell and even Rigondeaux, I don't want there to be an asterisk next to it. I believe those names, even sometimes Walters, I get upset with the 8-month layoff. It's unfortunate that these things exist in this man's career. But after everything that's transpired, his resume looks so much better. When in retrospect, I mean, just the names that are on there, the limited amount of fights, it's like, holy shit, you have to appreciate what he's been able to do. And that's really the only reason why we're taking this quote serious enough to report on it, is because the thought of Mikey and Lomachenko. And I know we like to play tennis around here, and we use that because I ramble. But before I end, I will say Mikey looks slow. He looks slow at 140. Is there going to be a difference, him coming back to 135? Is that going to affect him going from 35, going to 40, coming back to 35? We hear he's training for a 35-pound fight. We don't know what's going on. But where do you think the speed lies? Is Lomachenko still the faster man? I mean, he would be moving up as well, though. So we don't know what he's going to look like at 135.
But we have to assume he's the faster man here. I mean, if there's one thing we can obviously see is that Lomachenko's athleticism may be on a truly different level than we first thought. The way he moves, how fast he is, how explosive he can be, how he can dart in and out. That's pure athleticism here. Mikey Garcia has never been the truest athlete, I would say. He's just been a fundamental boxer with impeccable timing and boxing IQ.
Now,
of his athletic, disadvantages, he has overcome that with his just pure ability.
Would you say Mikey Garcia got 3 times more than the $400,000 that Rigo received to fight Lomachenko when he faced Adrian Broner? Or do you think that $500,000 was probably what he received to face Adrian Broner?
No, I forget if purses were released, but I thought both guys would probably get seven-figure contracts for that fight.
So then how is this fight possible?
Because it would be a quote-unquote super fight.
Super fight, but Bob Arum deals with ESPN now. Super fights are a thing of the past. There's no more pay-per-views. So how do you make a free super fight?
Was Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman not a free super fight?
Yeah, but we all know Al Heyman has a Ponzi scheme going on with a hedge fund with unlimited money that he's just blowing up until there's no more.
I mean, I wouldn't say Ponzi scheme. I think that's a little bit too far, but I get your point. But still, I think if Bob Arum is definitely invested in ESPN and vice versa, ESPN is invested in Top Rank, I would assume they can offer Mikey a 7-figure deal for this fight. You don't think that this would do north of 2 to 3 million views, if not more? I mean, if Lomachenko Rigo does 1.7 million viewers on ESPN, I would assume that Lomachenko Mikey does more.
Who's the A side?
I was going to ask you that.
Is Mikey not the A side due to longevity in the sport, resume?
He should
He's beat a lot of the guys Lomachenko has beaten before Lomachenko. Well, not a lot, but yeah, a lot. Two out of 5 good names, right? Mikey's already beaten before. It's arguable who's done it better, to be honest.
You can always throw back the Salido win.
But Mikey has had the Broner win, and it was Showtime's highest rating, and he moved up multiple divisions. He's a multiple division champion. Is he clear A side? I'm going to ask the people in the chat. Let me know. Mikey A side, Loma B? Simple as that. Mikey A, Loma B. Matt, I mean, you tell me. I'm kind of leaning. At first, I was going to say it's Lomachenko because of all the hype and, the high-profile win that he just got over Rigondeaux,
And most likely, if this fight was to happen, Top Rank would be the lead promoter. just to be honest. So that inclines me to think that maybe Loma might end up being the A side purely due to this fight most likely being on ESPN when it does happen, and Top Rank being the lead promoter. However, you threw out all the reasons why Mikey Garcia should be the A side. Arguably, he is the bigger draw. He has the bigger win. Regardless of the best win, he has the bigger win in Adrian Broner. And he has the Salido win. That will always be a trump card, I think, that Mikey has over Lomachenko, especially now with Salido retiring. Lomachenko has lost to Salido.
Oh, my God. I got to repeat this. I know sometimes I tell you don't say certain comments in the chat, but this is a strictly boxing comment. I just feel that it's one I cannot agree with. Very provoking comment that's making me speak by. Shout out to King Killer. He says, Mikey's not the A side. Does he even have a promoter? Do you need a promoter to be an A side, Matt?
No, not in today's age. Especially since most fighters are a self-promoter in a sense.
Yeah. So I want to play some audio here because we're talking A sides. And when speaking of A sides, we speak of resonating with the fans. We speak of personality. You know, like Miguel Cotto, even in his retrospective, they said he wasn't Tito. And the world grew to understand that he was short with his conversation, but he was all business. And that's why you still loved him. With Lomachenko, we're getting all business and a bit of a personality.
Maybe I changed my second name. Maybe I changed, and now my name is Lomachenko. All right. How were you able to? You
gotta enjoy.
The laugh of Lomachenko is the best. Like, it's almost maniacal, but almost kid-like at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, ha, 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 ha. And it's like, whoa, you know. But you gotta love that. You gotta love a guy that after he outclasses a pound for pound 2-time gold medalist. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. You gotta admire a guy that's so skilled that it's raised his confidence to the level that before he beats a multi-division champion, 2-time gold medalist, pound for pounder, this is premeditated, Matt. This Lomachenko wasn't something he thought of in the 12th round post fight. He knew he was going to win. He knew he was going to stop him in this fashion, bro. Like, I mean, I don't think he's clever enough. I'm sorry. Shoot me. Call me whatever you want to call me. Is he clever enough to come up with it in the 12th round post fight? Or did he go into it knowing he was going to call himself from here on out Lomachenko?
I think he's that confident.
Premeditated then, right? So
I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, he's even gone out and said in the post-fight interview, and I think in other interviews as well, that this win isn't that big to him. You know, that he's done that, like, he's kind of downplayed this own victory for him.
He said that in the post-fight immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. I couldn't believe it.
And think about he hasn't done these numbers ever in his career. 1.7 million viewers is nothing to scoff at. That's the second highest rated ESPN fight of the year, only behind Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn. That is something to be lauded and to be applauded as well. So for him to downplay it at the same time where he's at his maximum exposure so far in his career, it was just interesting. It was just, I don't know if it's gonna really propel him. I don't know if casuals are gonna love him downplaying this win. You know what I mean? Because casuals probably didn't like the fight. So I'm very curious how he gains fans from this entire event. That's what I'm really curious about. Going to the whole A side, who's the A side, and Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko, it's probably still Mikey.
It should be Mikey. It's going to be interesting to see if that's going to be the sticking point, because either team hasn't realized it yet. Because I know the Top Rank, after this win and the media hype it's going to get, you know, we have to report, you know, thoroughly on what it is that Lomachenko did and who he did it to and how he made him look. So this is going to raise the profile of Lomachenko. But I have some more audio I want you to pay attention to, because it's one of the main reasons that I felt like, wow, we need to talk about this. Arum is going on a limb here saying that Lomachenko will nomas Mikey Garcia.
It's definitely Lomachenko. I heard that part about Teddy Atlas, and I'm prone to disagree with the great Teddy Atlas from time to time, but it won't be tonight. I can't tell you how disgusted I am. I mean, every time somebody goes against this guy recently, they quit. I understand his footwork is exceptional. He obviously must have some power. He clearly has some speed, and he's a superior technician to anybody that he's gone in the ring against to this point in his career. But, I mean, my goodness, can you at least expect a fight? I mean, we're talking about Rigondeaux was undefeated in 17 professional fights, 11 knockouts, was known as a surreal and big-time counterpuncher. Somehow, some way, all he did tonight was duck and clutch. I'm trying to figure out when was the moment where he hurt his hand. Can somebody tell me that? Because I didn't see him connect with anything but air.
So
Stephen A.
It's but he has a point.
I love Stephen A. Like I think
we expected a fight and we didn't get one. How high is the probability? And we're gonna open up these phone lines. Remember the 1-425-569-5241. International callers or guys just looking to save some change or have excellent call quality. Connect with us on Skype by adding Nestor Gibbs, NESTORGIBBS. I don't know, man. Can he make a guy like Mikey quit? Is he going to be able to frustrate him? Now, I know I said I was going to say my angle, right? And it was, we seen Mikey. How do you word what took place in that Salido fight?
Take the easy way out.
Why do you call it take the easy way out?
Because he was clearly winning on the scorecards. There was a cut due to an accidental headbutt, I believe. And it was round, 8 or 9. And the doc said he wanted to stop. And he knows that if it stopped right then, it goes to the scorecards. And he did that. He took the easy way out instead of finishing the fight. Salido was, I'm not going to say coming on late, but Salido was having some good moments in those last couple rounds. So I think a lot of people viewed it as Mikey taking the quote-unquote easy way out. That may be what the fan consensus is, not my opinion. Just
exactly. And do you think that one can gather from that maybe the easy way out could be a cousin or an aunt or an uncle to a quitter? You know what I mean? Like, is it in the same realm? If you take the easy way out one time, if things get Lomachenko this time, are you going to know Moschenko? You know what I mean?
To answer your question, even though you won't, I don't think you're going to answer it directly. Yes, I think there is a correlation between the two. Does it happen? I'm not saying that, but there is a mental characteristic of a person that does that, in my opinion. And I think it shows itself in fights all the time. Now, one thing for Mikey, I mean, other than really the Broner fight, and even that was in test, he hasn't been tested since that fight. So we haven't seen if that was a true character trait of Mikey or if that was a one-time thing. We need to see a little bit more of Mikey in tough fights, I would say, to get a view of what he is when the going gets tough and he has an easy way out.
But like you said, there isn't many situations for us to gather this sort of information when it comes to Mikey. So shouldn't that be the reason for us not to doubt him, for us to be...
Yeah, agreed. Okay. That's why I say that you can't say that he will quit. You can say there may be a possibility of it, just like with anything. But I think it's you putting yourself, and I'm talking to you directly, Ness, but anyone that agrees with Arum in this stance, you are putting yourself on a ledge here. Because Mike Garcia has also proven that he is pound for pound level talent. That he is the Tim Duncan of boxing right now in terms of fundamentals and being not flashy, not at all, but he wins fights and he knows how to dismantle his opponents. Lomachenko is that version, but just flashier.
Mikey has also shown that he can hang with bigger opponents, whether that be sparring Maidana on YouTube and numerous other bigger men, or just facing the bigger men in Broner and Zlatikanin. You know, it is an interesting fight for Lomachenko. It would probably be the first time he isn't the A side, he isn't the favorite, he isn't the bigger man. even though with Gary Russell was fairly even sized, I believe. But let's go out to these phone lines. Obviously, before we do, I want to always mention that the show is supported by A&M Credit Repair. Head on over to amcreditrepair.com and don't forget to use the promo code ThaBoxingVoice so you can save a ton of money when getting your credit score and your life back on track. Remember that when you deal with amcreditrepair.com, you do not have to pay a red cent until you're absolutely satisfied with the service. The best part about this is that you do not pay 1 red cent until your score is at least above the 700s. So remember, pay later, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, and Ness is a client. Believe that. I'm in all 7 hundos because of them in less than 30 days. I'm willing to prove it to anyone. DM me if you like. Call them up at 1-718-820-8580. They speak English and Spanish. Operators available all the time. Do not forget to use that promo code, ThaBoxingVoice, so that you can definitely save on basically getting your life back on track, man. Credit is everything. You heard that song. I think next time we do this little live, we're going to have that Jay-Z soundbite just ready to play. You know what I mean? I don't know it, but you know what I mean. Or do you not know what I mean?
No, because I'm not a Jay-Z fan. Hashtag go nuts.
Really? But you were pushing me to listen to the 444 album, and that's where he talks about credit.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. I'm not the biggest
Hashtag overtime happening right before your eyes.
I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan, but 444 is a top 3 album of the year without a doubt. If
not
the album of the year, and I would anyone.
Holy shit! I thought that was in the application. Like, must be a Jay-Z fan to be part of the show. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, let's go out to the callers. Iron Sal, Northern California, talk to us.
Yo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. What's going on?
Saying Northern California, man. Come on now, bro.
I didn't hear you. What happened?
I said, why do you keep on having to say Northern California, man? We go through this every single time.
So it's not Northern?
People from Bakersfield are very sensitive about being called Northern Californians.
Matt put it in my head. He said, yo, he's coming all the way from North Cal.
It's like,
I mean, he's almost damn near in the southern point of California. Of course, he's gonna say up north. Well, anyways, man, let's get to the thing. Man, it's lightweight disrespectful if anybody thinks that Vasyl can stop Mikey, bro. Who they think that they really aren't gonna look at Mikey's resume, bro? I mean, this is something we were arguing about the other day, bro, and it's just downright disrespectful. In so many ways, Mikey already did almost everything that Vasyl has done with younger fighters at that. And you guys can say what you want about Salido, but Mikey was whooping his ass, got how many knockdowns, and you're trying to tell me he took the easy way out, bro? You could say that, but if he wanted to, he could have made the rest of the fight a very boring fight and still won easily. So I don't want to hear none of that shit. He didn't have no problem with him. So I don't know. I don't understand how anybody can think that Vasyl will make Mikey quit. Come on now, bro. Everybody wants to discredit Broner, but when it comes down to it, Broner was still a very high caliber fighter at the lower weight classes. And he went up and Mikey fought him at 140, bro. Look what Mikey did. He outboxed the boxer, bro. Mikey's not the normal Mexican fighter, bro. Mikey has heart, he knows how to box, and he can fucking bang.
Sal,
so what's up, man?
Are you Mexican?
Yeah, bro.
Hey, listen, I wanted the word quit in the title because I knew it was going to offend people. It's damn right disrespectful to think that Mikey will quit. You know, I think Matt tried to do some PR damage for Top Rank by keeping it out of the title.
Yeah, stop hating on the title.
That's very disrespectful, man. I don't understand. I don't where anybody can think Mikey will quit on a fight like that. Like, you gotta, Mikey, when they were in the studios at ESPN, Mikey went out of his way because he knew Vasyl was in the building, and he went to go greet him. Why would some man that has any sliver of type of like thinking this man can beat him or not trying to make a fight with him go over there and take a picture for some PR? You got to get out of here, man. You guys got to give that man the respect. Mikey has never dug Vasyl when they interviewed. If the money's right, he'll make it, bro. And believe me, all I'm saying is this: when the predictions come down, then I'll predict. But as of right now, we're talking about somebody's saying that Mikey will quit. You got to get the fuck out of here and bring some facts on why you think Mikey Garcia will quit on that fight.
He has been dropped before. He has taken easy way outs before. I mean, just to play devil's advocate.
Man, the Salido fight?
Yes.
Bro, how you gonna say that's so?
Oh,
yeah.
And he got dropped in the Rocky Martinez fight.
Oh, then he got dropped by Martinez, a guy that
Loma did to Rocky Martinez.
I know.
Knockout of the year.
That wasn't a Lomachenko because he didn't give him time to quit. Shout out to my boy Christian Camillo. He says on the super chat, thank you first and foremost for your super chat. And his message, Matt, is Loma can win, but crazy statement. It's closer than I used to think. 50-50. Loma has the skill edge, but I still slightly, in all caps, favor Mikey for now, based on mostly size along with his own solid skill set. Chris Camillo, thank you for the super chat and great comment. Matt, what do you think about that? He obviously has Loma beating Mikey. He still thinks it's a 50-50 fight, but he slightly favors Mikey. But he feels Loma's going to win? It's so weird.
You misread that. Loma can win. He's not saying Loma will win.
Okay, Loma can win.
There's a possibility it's 50-50, but he's still favoring Mikey. I understand that. Mikey's the more established name, like Nessa said already in the show. Mikey beat a lot of the guys that Lomachenko beat when they were younger. So you have to give him that, due credit. Though he doesn't have a Gary Russell on his resume. He doesn't have a Nicholas Walters on his resume. He doesn't have a Guillermo Rigondeaux on his resume.
Jason Sosa.
I'm not going to throw Jason.
It's not the biggest name, but in retrospect, I mean, Sosa's been able to bounce back after. See, you got to give fighters credit when they can come back. Like Caleb Truax, you got to give him credit because losing takes something from you, not only physically but mentally, and it means that you have something if you could come back from a loss. And guys like Sosa and Caleb, they do that.
Are you forgetting that Gamboa just beat Jason Sosa?
But we know that he didn't. Just like Tevin Farmer is going to be a winner in Max Kellerman's eyes for the rest of his life, according to Kellerman.
I didn't think those scorecards were as egregious as the Tevin Farmer scorecards.
Oh, that's fucked up because everyone.
Maybe I'm misremembering it. I could be misremembering that night in that fight.
Remembering that night, Gamboa was not in that fight, and at least Hashiagwa or Usagwa was in the Tevin Farmer fight. We could do a fucking live fight chat on that if I wanted to kill myself, but I don't. So thank you very much. Let's get out to the phone calls. We're gonna go out to our ringer. Just want to first and foremost thank KM Star for being a ringer. Heading on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice, believing in the movement and deciding, you know what? Why wait in line when I can cut it? So, KM, what's on your mind?
Hey, guys, what's up? I love this ringer status. I just want to double down and get a ringer plus a boomerang one of these days. So I don't know where to begin. It's funny because when I saw the title of the show, my first reaction was, that's ridiculous. And then when you think about it, right, let's be fair. Who thought Walters would quit? Who thought Rigondeaux would quit? Rigondeaux has actually been knocked down and gotten up and won fight, right? Which is why it was such a shock that he quit on Saturday. So clearly you have to give Lomachenko his credit because he's making these guys do this. So it's never, my reaction, do I believe Mikey will do that? No. But can I scoff at the notion? Not like I used to, because it's been happening again and again with Lomachenko. Let's see how that plays out, how they look at, how they build the fight. I'm actually concerned about this fight being able to be made, to be honest with you, because Mikey and Arum have their own little history, and Arum has proven himself to be a petty man. You know what I mean? It took a long time for him to get back in the, back to book, to get that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight made. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the fact that he didn't get all the money in his own damn war chest, and that's what would happen with Mikey too. He's a greedy old fuck, let's be honest. So I believe that fight's happening when I see it inked and on BoxRec, you know what I mean, and signed, and they're doing pressers and stuff. But the A-side question?
Presser?
You have to say Mikey.
Wait a minute. Did you just say presser?
Yeah.
Bob doesn't do that for big fights
anymore, right?
Not for big fights.
I got you. Yo, you sounded like playoffs. You're not a football fan, but that sounded like playoffs. Anyway, but really quick, A-side, I mean, who brings the bodies? Like, you saw how everyone came out for the Broner-Mikey Garcia fight. I was at the Barclays, and there was a lot of Mexicans from California up in there. And I know that wherever Mikey goes, they're going to travel with him. I don't know how many Ukrainians are going to come to Lomachenko fight, but I think his fan base is probably getting bigger than just his home flag at this point, to be fair. I do have to respect that. But, that's a tough one. I think, again, that's an Arum thing, right? He might force Lomachenko into the A side, but that arena will be filled with Mikey fans, in my opinion. There'll probably be more Mikey fans than Lomachenko fans, just because of the nature of the demographics and being in America, et cetera. But, we'll see what happens. I can't wait. I mean, I thought Lomachenko should stay at his weight. But it's kind of fair if Mikey's coming down. That means he's giving up something. He's losing weight. And if Lomachenko's going up, he's gaining something, hopefully not losing speed. So that might be the best fight that can be made right now, though there are a couple other interesting ones at lightweight, too. So, let's see. I'm excited that now we're talking about this. It's good to wash the taste of Rigondeaux out of my mouth and now have Mikey's name in my mouth. I like this. This is good. That's my call.
All right. Well, it is feeling like a perfect world if we can go from Rigondeaux to Mikey, but I feel like we're going to get slid a Beltron in between that, and that'll be okay, to be honest with you. I mean, look at the man's resume. If he slides in a B, C+ level fighter in between an A level fighter, who am I to criticize? Producer, what is the deal?
Where do you think this fight takes place if it were to happen?
Damn, I'm glad you doubled back because it was on my mind, and I thought maybe this will be kind of like the introduction to LA for Lomachenko. Do it on the West Coast because Lomo trains there in Oxnard, and then you got Mikey who is in Oxnard and has that LA fan base. This could be the way to introduce Lomachenko to that Mexican crowd.
I mean, he has fought the sub-hub against Gary Russell. Let's not forget that fight was in LA.
Well, I forgot that fight. Not the fight, but where it took place and everything. It's been a while now.
But, I mean, like you said, Mikey lives in LA. Loma lives in LA. If they were not to promote it in their own backyard with a huge Mexican demographic, I think they would be dumb. I think they'd be foolish to do that. If they were trying to force this in New York, I'm going to be very upset.
Listen, guys, we're going to go back down to drive-by. I know you might get upset, but this is what happens when we're doing spontaneous shows. We also want to double back. This is our second show today, but we're trying to lock in a third one for today. There's a little breaking news report that we at least want to report on and talk to you guys. High-level fighter, and we need to discuss it. If we let it go any longer, it might not be worth talking about tomorrow. So we're going to go out to Atlanta. We're going to give you about 45 seconds. Get your thoughts. Mikey, Lomachenko, does he make him quit? Is Vasyl going to continue the no mas?
I told y'all a long time ago that Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
Strap me up. Next, I got milk, baby.
Yeah. Look, it's the milk, man. If you think Mikey's quitting against Lomachenko, you're sadly mistaken, man. That's the fight I want to see because Mikey ain't going to be afraid to punch. Yeah, let's do it. I'm out.
Milkman, thank you for calling in. ATL on the check-in. We're going out to Sonny in the UK. Sonny, Lomachenko.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I just want to say thank you to you guys to share this platform with us. Without you guys, we couldn't get our opinions out there. So thank you to you guys first. Second thing, there's 2 things, A side, B side. I think Lomachenko's a more exciting fighter at the moment. He has more attributes. He's got the features on him. So that's the reason why people might think A side. But on paper, I think they both should be the equal player. And as far as, do you think Mikey Garcia is going to quit? Man, that's just an opinion right now. I don't think that's true. Mikey Garcia holds himself really well in those weights, and he's gone up. So we'll just see what happens. I'm excited.
I am excited as well. Sonny in the UK, thank you for calling in. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget you can hit that thumbs up button. Future, present, past. So many watching and so limited numbers of thumbs up. Why not show me and Matt, the Hipster Hunter, that you enjoy the product? And this way, we will come back with that 3rd episode. It's getting late, but it's just getting started for you West Coasters. So hit that thumbs up. Let's get this to about 1,000 so we could definitely be back for the next one. We're going out to Tony T in San Diego. Tony, Talk to us. Lomachenko, does he make Mikey quit?
Make Mikey quit. I'm not too sure. And will the fight be 135? Will the fight be at 135, 140? And like they said previous, will he want to deal with Bob Arum? Nope.
We hear you. We hear you.
Hello.
We hear you, Mike. We hear you, Tony T.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know about quit, but then again, I mean, that would be a fight Arum should kind of hold out because he could even go as far as calling out the September and the May fights. I mean, if it's Garcia versus Loma, because you know us Mexicans are gonna go back up Garcia. Is like, you know, the technical fighter we have, and then what weight class were they fighting? Would it be 135? Or would it be 140?
We're assuming 135 since Mikey has a title there.
Okay, because I was debating with somebody. They wanted him to go up to 140 and then have Crawford wait for him. I'm like, why is Crawford going to wait for him? Crawford has bigger fish to fry at 147. So it's like, and then you're talking about, I'm going to change it real quick. Arum saying his boxers. I mean, he said Mayweather Jr. was better than Ali, Leonard, Durand, Hagler. He said Pacquiao about the same. So why is it such a big deal that he says it now about Loma? That's always been Arum's punchline to his new catch cow. They're better than this and that and this and that. I mean, he always says newest fighters greater than the fighters from the past. Why is Loma a big deal? He said it about Mayweather Jr. and he said it about Pacquiao before.
Yeah, man. Now, Arum has come out and said some interesting things, especially now with Loma. Listen, Tony T, thank you for calling in. He just most recently said, Matt, and that was a title in itself, you know, that Loma is better than Muhammad Ali. There was a little Instagram clip going viral on it. Let's head on out to New Jersey. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, spontaneous show. We're giving you 45 seconds. We're going down the line. We got a lot of callers.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Shake it down. Now hold up. Let's make this official. Everybody that's breathing.
I mean, you're up.
Yo, fellas, what's good?
What up? What up?
Yo, listen, that fight happens in LA. I think that's a hell of a fight. Beltran, listen, I was big on Beltran. I don't want to say big on him, but when he started making his quote unquote comeback, when he knocked somebody out over the summer, and you know, he's definitely a good in between opponent for Lomo. But that fight with Mikey, oh man, that's what it is. I'm gonna let you keep it moving, Ness. Good show, fellas.
I mean, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Vito on Skype. Vito, where you calling in from? Vito on a check-in on Skype. Where you calling in from?
Hello, Ness. Hello, Matt. I'm calling in from Malaysia.
Oh, Malaysia. What's going on, Vito?
Yeah, I just, I know I have limited time, so I'm just going to make this as quick, fast as possible. Now, I want to say something. I'm watching Lomachenko. There's only one style that can actually beat Lomachenko, and that is the Maidana style. You know, the continuous pressure, and that cardio and stamina, you know, to keep the fight up, you know, till the end. That's the only style that can actually beat Lomachenko. Because if you watch Lomachenko, the first 2 rounds, he actually fills you up. You know, he sizes you up, and then he dictates the pace. You do not let Lomachenko to dictate the pace. Against the Salido, what the Salido first fight, you know, the Salido fight, you know, you will understand that you will see that Salido was constantly pressurizing him and working the body. Lomachenko does not like getting hit on the body. So if any guy can fight like that, have the stamina. Cut it.
Vito, sorry to hit you with the cut it, but it is 45 seconds. I gave you about 1:30 because you're calling in all the way from Malaysia, helping us continue to be the #1 international boxing podcast on iTunes. Don't forget to drop us a 5-star review. Helps with the visibility of the show, and you can go a step further by hitting thumbs up right here on this YouTube channel and subscribing because we do a bunch of spontaneous shows. This is show number 2 for today, and we're coming back with another special breaking news report. We got the 540693. 540693, you're live with me. Who's this?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
What's your name, my friend? Where you calling
What
from?
it is, this is your boy. This is Robert Rowland, man. I'm calling from South Korea. And I wanted to say, man, that fight last Saturday was a fixed fight, my brother. That was fixed fight. You can't go in there and be dazzling people with those little bitty punches and doing all these dance moves and stuff, talking about Rigo quit. Come on, man. You know the fight was fixed. That's all I got to say. But Mikey Garcia, he may quit because the team may fix it for him, too.
All right, Robert Rowland. I've definitely seen you on social media for a long time now. Thank you for continuing to be a long-time listener, first-time caller. We always appreciate those. Hope now you become a fixed fixture here on the show. We're going out to the 210, usually in Texas, I believe, Matt. 210-996, 210-996. Who's this?
Ness, what up, big dog? It's Young Tigre.
Young Tigre, what up?
Chilling, man. Hey, I like this matchup, man. It's a sick matchup, big dog. You know what I mean? My thing with the A side, B side is, I mean, Lomachenko, they give him more shine, I think. So I think he would probably end up the A side somehow. And I like Mikey, man. I think he could work him. But that's a hell of a matchup, big dog. Now, what up, man? I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, Young Tigre, thanks for the check-in, my friend. Speaking of check-in, shout out to the Super Chat going live and strong. I want to send a big thank you to Zoran K, and his message is shout out to TBV. I still think Mikey is a safe bet, but fuck knows. I guess he meant to say who the fuck knows, right? Let's say Loma takes away Mikey's right hand. Mikey can't even time him. Gets frustrated. He might quit. I still got Mikey, though. What do you think about that? The timing, taking away the right hand. That's where these guys are quitting, Matt. It's the frustration. It's not the power. People are calling in saying the fight's fixed because they're not seeing power. But, I mean, you tell me, if I stand in front of you and just keep going in circles, fucking smacking you in the ear, plucking your ear, and you can't catch up to me, you'll get frustrated too. And you're like, yo, that's it. I'm done. I'm not playing anymore.
Yesterday, you I think you made the perfect comparison. Like when you're playing like basketball on the street or whatever in the park, and you have somebody just clowning you, outclassing you in every aspect, you don't want to play.
And one style.
Yeah. And you might quit, and you may not go to the park for the next week because you got embarrassed. You know, that shit happens to everyone, I would say, that has been in that sort of scenario. So it happens. When you cannot win and there's no path of victory, why keep going?
It does happen. You know what is happening too often? The fact that we have a ton of watchers and not enough thumbs up. I don't understand how is it. So, I mean, something we say every episode too. It's like, nah, you know what? There they are. They're saying thumbs up again. I'm not going to give it to them this time. Fucking.
To all you people that don't hit the thumbs up.
In Virginia, my last caller of the night. Be in Virginia. What up?
What up? Hey, so okay, I got 45 seconds. I just want to say, if you got a lot of money behind a fighter, like say you pour a hell of bread into a fighter, I feel like you can buy wins, losses, quits. You can make a man look like Superman because that's the whole point. You put a bunch of money into him so that he can look like a legend. I'm not saying he's not an expert at fighting, but I'm just saying money is a big part of fighting.
All right, B. Well, thanks for calling in, my friend. Matt, we made it.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Even with 2 tinfoil hat calls. And, you know, no hate, B from Virginia and Roland. You guys are, you know, longtime listeners, so love you guys. But come on. The tinfoil hats, gotta put that shit away. I mean, Rigo lost, plain and simple. I mean, do we think that Nicholas Walters got paid off too? Do we think Rigo got paid off too? Do we think Mariaga got paid off? Do we think these guys got paid off? Do we think they all got paid off?
Cut
it. You cutting it for me? Come on.
No, I'm not cutting you. I'm cutting the thought of all these guys getting paid off.
Like, do you think Bob Arum and Top Rank have that much money to give Lomachenko a guaranteed of $1 point something million, and then pay on top of that Rigo's purse, and then on top of that, pay off judges or Rigo himself.
No, and it wasn't a pay-per-view, so where's the upside for them spending all this investment money? Giving Rigo $400,000 to take a dive allegedly. Where's the upside for Loma?
Whenever in boxing things look like they're unbelievable, like Loma beating Rigo in that fashion is unbelievable. The fans, there's a portion of the fans that automatically go to it's fixed, it's corruption. Maybe he just did the unbelievable. You know, that's why we watch this sport, is to watch the unbelievable happen. It's for moments like that. For a guy that we, you know, with 8-1 record, to go out there and clown a undefeated two gold medalist Olympian, you know, like that's why we watch the sport. So I don't get the downgrading of it. I don't get the tinfoil hat conspiracy theories. Please show me some proof. Otherwise, I'm gonna be quiet during your call. I won't say anything. I'll give you your time, but man, I ain't responding to it because it's just bullshit. It is bullshit at this point. You show me a check, you show me some concrete evidence, then we change our tune, and then we can do an entire show on it, and we will get to the bottom of it. But until then, it's bullshit and just a conspiracy theory. But I'm Matt Hipster Hunter. Shout out to Lomachenko for doing the unbelievable again. Can he do the unbelievable against Mikey Garcia? Is Bob Arum crazy or correct? I don't know. I think it's time that we really stop doubting Lomachenko's ability. I'm not saying we think Mikey quits, but we need to start really realizing what talent we have in front of us. But I'm Matt Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, is on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. The Standing 8 Count, which somebody out there already stole. Shout out to you guys for stealing our content.
Well, that's been old. There's a podcast called 8 Count.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why is the Twitter account so new? But anyways, Standing 8 Count, new TBV podcast, Patreon only. Go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to watch it. I go solo dolo, no Ness, no Doomsday, no Enrique.
What episode are you on?
Gonna be 2 this week. This week is episode 2.
When do you release?
Podcast. It's a weekly podcast. Every Monday, we make a Patreon post where I ask you, the listeners, to give me topics, hipster topics, hardcore topics, whatever it is.
Today's topics?
What?
Did they give you today's topics?
I haven't written the post yet.
You're slacking on your Mac and slipping in your pimping.
Great line. But it's still Monday. I still have hours in the day. Like you said, the West Coast is just starting to bump it up. Come on, man. Just relax.
We're gonna get over there. 6 o'clock only for you guys.
We might be back with another TBV show. We're gonna do tons of shit this week. It's always boxing time with the Boxing Voice. So peace.
Yes, and I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Final thoughts are make me a believer in terms of making Mikey quit. You made me a believer. I believe in your skills, but I don't know about making the bigger man who's probably got more experience quit. It was an interesting line. Arum, thank you for bringing us out and making us work. I love to work. Hit the thumbs up button. Future, present, past, doesn't matter. Don't forget to take advantage of our supporter of the show, AM Credit Repair, and repair your credit, monitor your credit, build your credit, receive alerts, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. You pay absolutely nothing up front. Use the promo code ThaBoxingVoice to get your life back together. Once you got all those credit scores from all 3 bureaus at 700, then you pay. So that's pay nothing up front until you're 100% satisfied. amcreditrepair.com, 1718-820-8580, promo code ThaBoxingVoice. Peace.